Imagine your class is deciding on a class trip. Do you want to go to the zoo, a museum, or an amusement park? Everyone gets to vote.
You write your choice on a piece of paper, fold it and put it in a box. Then the votes are counted. The choice with the most votes wins. That's democracy in action. Voting is how we make decisions together in a fair way. It's how we choose our leaders and the rules we live by.
From something as simple as a class trip to something as important as who runs our country, every vote counts.
Your voice matters because you have a say in what happens. But can you imagine a time when not everyone got to vote? Can you imagine not being able to choose your leaders or have a say in the rules? It might seem strange, but that's exactly what it was like for women not so long ago. Before we get stuck in, let me remind you to check out some of our suffragette items on our website at Starbeck Education, and don't forget to like and subscribe. For a very long time, women in many countries, including Britain, couldn't vote. This meant they had no say in how their country was run. They couldn't become members of parliament and make laws, even though those laws affected their lives too. This wasn't fair. Women paid taxes just like men. They worked hard, raised families, and contributed to society in countless ways. Yet they were denied a fundamental right simply because they were women. It was like their voices were invisible. But some women refused to be silenced. They knew that having a voice in their government was crucial for equality and justice. These brave women became known as suffragettes. They were determined to change the world, one vote at a time. At the heart of the suffragette movement was a truly remarkable woman named Emmeline Pankhurst. Emmeline was a powerful speaker. She traveled across the country, giving passionate speeches about women's rights.
Women deserve the same opportunities and freedoms as men, and that includes the right to vote.
She inspired countless women to join her cause. Emmeline wasn't alone in her fight. Her daughters, Christabel and Sylvia, were also fierce advocates for women's suffrage. Together, they formed the Women's Social and Political Union, or WSPU, a group dedicated to winning the vote for women. Their motto was "Deeds, not words," and they were prepared to take action, even if it meant breaking the law. The suffragettes were tireless campaigners. They organized marches, rallies, and demonstrations. Imagine streets filled with women, all dressed in white, carrying banners and singing songs about equality.
We wrote letters to newspapers, distributed pamphlets, and gave speeches at street corners, all to raise awareness about our cause.
They faced opposition, ridicule, and even violence, but they never gave up. They believed in their cause with all their hearts. They knew that winning the vote was essential not just for themselves, but for all future generations of women. Despite their peaceful efforts, the government remained unmoved. Frustration grew within the movement. The suffragettes realized that more drastic measures were needed to make their voices heard.
Section 5, Deeds Not Words, the rise of militancy in the suffrage movement.
As time went on and their demands for the vote were ignored, some suffragettes felt they had no choice but to take more drastic action.
They believed that deeds not words was the only way to make the government listen.
They chained themselves to railings outside government buildings, smashed shop windows, and even interrupted political meetings.
These actions were designed to cause disruption and force the government to pay attention to their cause.
They knew they would be arrested, but they were prepared to go to prison for what they believed in.
Their courage and determination, even in the face of such adversity, showed the world how deeply they cared about their right to vote.
Section 6, Emily Wilding Davison, A Life Given for the Cause.
One suffragette, Emily Wilding Davison, became a tragic heroine of the movement.
Emily was a passionate believer in women's rights.
She was arrested multiple times for her activism and went on hunger strike in prison to protest the inhumane conditions.
In a desperate attempt to draw attention to the cause, Emily stepped in front of the King's horse at the Epsom Derby in 1913.
Tragically, she was trampled and later died from her injuries.
Emily's death shocked the nation and brought the issue of women's suffrage to the forefront of public consciousness.
Her sacrifice, although heartbreaking, served as a powerful symbol of the unwavering commitment and courage of the suffragettes. Section 7. Victory at last, the right to vote and the legacy of the suffragettes. The suffragettes' unwavering dedication and sacrifice were not in vain. In 1918, after years of tireless campaigning and courageous acts of defiance, the Representation of the People Act was passed, granting some women the right to vote for the first time in British history. It was a momentous victory, a triumph for equality, and a testament to the power of peaceful protest. It was a giant leap forward for women's rights, but the fight wasn't over yet. It would take another 10 years for women to achieve equal voting rights with men. In 1928, the Equal Franchise Act was passed, finally granting all women over the age of 21 the right to vote. This victory was the culmination of decades of struggle and sacrifice by countless brave women who dared to challenge the status quo and fight for a fairer and more just society.
Section 8. Remembering the Suffragettes, why their fight still matters today.
The Suffragettes' story is an important reminder that change doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, courage, and the unwavering belief that a better world is possible. The Suffragettes showed us that even ordinary people can achieve extraordinary things when they come together and fight for what they believe in.
Their legacy continues to inspire us today as we strive for greater equality and justice in our own time. Their story teaches us the importance of standing up for what we believe in, even when it's difficult.
It reminds us that our voices matter and that we all have a role to play in creating a fairer and more just world for everyone. Even though you might be young, you have a voice and it's important to use it.
Section 9. Walking in their footsteps. Activities to honor the suffragettes.
There are so many fun and creative ways to learn more about the suffragettes and celebrate their legacy. You could even hold a mini election in your class. Choose a topic everyone cares about, like what book to read next or what game to play at recess.
Make your own ballot box. Decorate it with the suffragette colours, purple, white, and green, and let everyone cast their vote. Remember, every vote counts, no matter how small.
Another fun activity is to create your own suffragette sash. Use a piece of fabric or paper and decorate it with the words "Votes for Women" and the suffragette colours. Purple for loyalty and dignity, white for purity, and green for hope. Wear your sash with pride.
Section 10. The power of one voice. Your vote, your choice, your future.
The suffragettes fought tirelessly for the right to vote because they understood its power. They knew that every vote represents a voice, a hope, a dream for a better future. Your vote is your chance to make a difference in the world. It's your opportunity to have a say in how things are run and to shape the future you want to see. Never underestimate the power of your voice. Just like the suffragettes, you have the power to create change and make the world a better place. Remember, your voice matters, your choices matter, and you have the power to make a difference. Please like and subscribe.